Yes.
Clerk will call the roll.
Glenn Whitley, County Judge.
Here.
Roy Charles Brooks, Commissioner Precinct 1.
Present.
Andy H. Wynn, Commissioner Precinct 2.
Here.
Gary Fickus, Commissioner Precinct 3.
Here.
J.D. Johnson, Commissioner Precinct 4.
Here.
Constitutes a quorum.
Thank you. Our invocation today will be delivered by our own Craig Maxwell from the Tarrant County Auditor's Office. After the invocation, please remain standing for the pledges. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. It's a great day to serve.
Good morning.
Just look at the room full of your county family in attendance who are eagerly awaiting your recognition of their service.
Mispronunciation of their names.
I should say a little word in here for you. If you will, please bow your head. Lord, we come before you today seeking your blessings. You give us many each day: wisdom, strength, understanding, compassion, and the ability to know right from wrong. We have the opportunity to use our blessings to make a difference every day with those we meet, whether it be a kind word, a helping hand, or just a smile. We can make this a better place in which to live by simply following the ways of your Son. We ask that you present us with the opportunity to help those who are in need and take that moment to make a difference by putting their needs before ours. Please look out for and lead those who serve this great country, whether it be those in uniforms or those who are elected to serve the people or those who have other callings. We raise our voices in prayer and hope that you will hear our call and help us and heal us. We pray that the agenda set forth before you today, it may bless the lives of many. In your name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thanks, Craig. Mr. Manius.
Thank you, Your Honor. Members of the Court, we have several announcements for you this morning. The first, as relates to the agenda, is under the Administrator's section. Item 8A1. This is the engagement letter with D&T. We're going to ask that we hold that for 1 week. And this is upon request from D&T. They have some paperwork they need to finish up, so we will have this on the agenda for your approval next week. Also, talking about next week, on Monday at 9 o'clock, Monday morning, we have our beginning of our budget hearings. And they'll be in the courtroom here. And you should have received some information from the budget office yesterday about packets. We intend to give you the budget letter on Thursday of this week. So we've checked with your offices. Your calendars are clear. We're going to post the meeting. We'll probably post it on Thursday. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court members, you have before you the minutes of our regular meeting of July the 29th.
Move approval. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Commissioner Fickish. You're not green yet. Motion passes unanimously. For our proclamations, we have a couple of proclamations and resolutions, and then the first is a resolution recognizing Walmart sponsorship of our back-to-school roundup, and that's going, I'm going to present that later, so I'll just move approval of that resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Commissioner Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor, I have a proclamation. Smokey Bear Day. If you would read that into the record, please.
Whereas Smokey Bear and his famous warning, "Only you can prevent forest fires," was introduced to Americans in 1944. And whereas through a partnership between the USDA Forest Service and the National Association of State Foresters and the Ad Council, Smokey Bear has educated generations of Americans about their role in preventing human-caused wildfires. And whereas the Smokey Bear Wildfire Prevention Campaign is the longest-running public service advertising campaign in U.S. history, and whereas the campaign has helped to reduce the number of acres lost annually from 22 million to 9.3 million, and whereas despite the campaign's success over the years, wildfire prevention remains one of the most critical issues affecting our country, and Smokey's message is as relevant today as it was in 1944. And whereas Smokey Bear celebrates his 70th birthday, that's the same age, he's running right up there with you, isn't he?
You're getting real close to,
Celebrating his 70th birthday of spreading the message of human-caused wildfire prevention on Saturday, August the 9th, 2014. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the Commissioners Court of Tarrant County, do hereby proclaim August the 9th, 2014 as Smokey Bear Day in Tarrant County and encourage all residents to remember Smokey warning, only you can prevent forest fires. And witness whereof we have herein to set our hands and cause the seal of Tarrant County to be affixed this 5th day of August 2014.
I move for its approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
And we have with us today Nick Harrison with Texas A&M Forest Service. He is the FireWise Coordinator. And I think Randy Renwall is with him. If y'all would meet me down at the podium, please. Thank you very much for being here today and for what you do, and we appreciate it. And any comments y'all would like to make, thank you for your response. Thank you.
Your Honor, Commissioners Court, on behalf of the Texas A&M Forest Service and Smokey Bear, we'd like to thank you for the proclamation and just want to tell you of the great cooperative relationship we have with Randy Renoir and the Tarrant County Fire Marshal's Office and Tarrant County in general, and that, you know, we're always at the risk for wildfires in the state of Texas, and we just want to keep that in the forefront. And then also would like to invite Your Honor and the Commissioners on Saturday from 10 to 12 at the Benbrook Fire Department on 528 Mercedes Street. We're doing a cooperative Smokey Bear event with some appearances and prevention material, and all the public is invited to attend. But again, thank you very much for this great honor, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Judge, I'd like to point out that although we may not have forests around here to burn, this area is as prone to wildfires as any area in the country, and we need to be as vigilant as other areas in the country to help prevent fires on our grasslands, our prairies, and other areas around here that burn.
Thank you, Commissioner. Before I get into our employee recognition, but while everyone is here, I wanted to, where's Beecham?
He's out in the hall.
All right, Beecham, come on in. You're out there listening.
He's shaking his head. He's back. He's sitting back there shaking his head.
Just didn't want to come in and visit with us? Come on up here. Yeah, put that coffee down. I don't see any cheap seats. You're supposed to be on the front row. You came in late. I want to congratulate Jack and his department for the 19th time they have earned the Achievement of Excellence in Procurement Award. And it says a great deal about the department and about Jack and his leadership in that particular area. I think you've received the award for 17 consecutive years. We appreciate very much the work that you do, and I wanted to have an opportunity to recognize you in front of everyone before a lot of these folks got up and left. So again, congratulations, and let's give Jack and his department a
I'd like to thank my staff. We're very proud to be considered for the award. We just appreciate the court working with us, allowing us to do our job, and us being allowed to serve all our customers. One of the comment, you're not supposed to talk about HIPAA stuff, but I had an opportunity to visit my colonoscopy doctor yesterday. And I have one scheduled, and I asked him, I said, why do I have to pay this? I get this most every Tuesday at the podium, but...
We're going to start charging you as much as he charges you for that opportunity to come in.
And it won't feel as good.
Yeah, it won't, because there won't be any drugs. Thank you again, Jack. Thank your department. Now for the employee recognition, and as was stated earlier, this is my opportunity each month to mispronounce many of y'all's names. But I do want to say that we appreciate as a court, as a county, very much the service that you have given to Tarrant County and continue to give to Tarrant County each day that you come in and work with the citizens who come before you or work with the folks that you may be overseeing. We appreciate you. And this is just a small, we realize just a small recognition of that, but it really is important to us, and we want to thank you. I'll start off with the 5-year employees. As I call your name or what sounds like your name, please stand and remain standing until the end of that group, and then we'll recognize the group, and then we'll proceed to the next group. So for our first 5-year employee is Catherine Adler, Public Health. Colton Douglas, Sheriff's Office. Daniel Dunn, Sheriff's Office. Carmen Hernandez, Sheriff's Office. Brishana Hill, Medical Examiner's Office. Rela Masters, Housing Department. Kathleen Pignatelli, Public Health. You know where you are in the alphabet. If that was your place, you need to be standing. Sharaka Thomas, Sheriff's Office. Timothy Tremaine, Sheriff's Office. Brian Wallace, Sheriff's Office. Casey White, Sheriff's Office. Tracy Williams, Sheriff's Office. These are our 5-year employees. Let's give them a big hand. Now for our 10-year employees, William Allen, Information Technology. Thank you for that name. Tell your mother how much I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Keith Caruth, Sheriff's Office. Juan Castanon, Sheriff's Office. Ricky Dominguez, Sheriff's Office. Kristen Harmison, Tax Office. Islyn Lowry, Sheriff's Office. Laura Michael, Sheriff's Office. Eric Remington, Juvenile Services. Anna Salazar, Facilities Management. Gregory Smith, Sheriff's Office. Joseph Sarzek, Sheriff's Office. Charlotte Toner, Criminal Court Support. Andrea Yaquadras, Public Health. These are our 10-year employees. Now for our 15-year employees, Rachel Byrne, County Auditor's Office. Deanne Kahn, Information Technology. Joel Garcia, Sheriff's Office. Maria Guardian, Public Health. Michael Holt, Sheriff's Office. Sean Layfill, Sheriff's Office. Julia Murphy, Sheriff's Office. DeCarla Ori, Sheriff's Office. Hun Rocco, County Clerk's Office. Cynthia Valaquez, I didn't get that one right. Direct Program. Elvis Wells, District Attorney's Office. Jack Winchester, Facilities Management. Justin Wooten, Sheriff's Office. These are our 15-year employees. Let's give them a That's right. Now for our 20-year employees, Cynthia Barnes, the Auditor's Office. Brenda Clark, Elections Office. Brenda. David Hess, Sheriff's Office. Curtis Hilliard, Precinct 3. Curtis, stand up. Renee Rice, Sheriff's Office. Todd Timon, Constable's Office, Precinct 1. And Wyman Ward, Sheriff's Office. These are our 20-year employees. Let's give them a big round. Now for our 25-year employees. Our first is Donna Allen, who 25 years is in criminal court number 8. Wasn't going to be able to make it today, has court. So as you see, and Donna's actually been with us 28 years. She's one of these that came with us, left a little bit, came back, and so we, in our way, reduced the number of years they've been with us. She's been with us 28, so congratulate her on 28, not 25. Next is Ken Rottenberry, Sheriff Courts. Also, he's out all week and is not going to be able to make it. So when you see Ken, congratulate him on 25 years. Next is Madonna Trammell, Sheriff's Department. There she is, 25 years. Started in the jail as a floor clerk in the Belknap unit. Has been in dispatch, deputy in the jail, has been in the grievance and disciplinary area, and now is in the courts area. When I asked her about kind of a memorable moment, she said, it wasn't necessarily a good memorable moment, but she said, I was actually on duty when George Lott shooting occurred, as well as I was in the dispatch area when the helicopter went down. So memorable moments, not so much good memorable moments, but at least, it's you're around the family at that point in time, and the family kind of comes together. When I asked her what she liked most, she said, without question, it's the people I've had an opportunity to work for and work with. She said, I have an awesome department, awesome group that I work with now, and awesome supervisors. When we talked, she wasn't able to make it when we talked about the 20-year, but we talked about our granddaughters. She has 3 granddaughters. I now have 6, so I'm kind of, once mine figured out how it happens, they've been spitting them out ever since. I tell you, it's amazing how that works. But I've got 6 right now, and it's fun. And we talked about how much fun it is to have the grandkids. Donna, we appreciate very much the 20 years of service you've given us. Thank you. Next is Bridget Wilson, the district clerk's office. She didn't think she was going to be able to make it down. So when you see Bridget, thank her for the 25 years of service that she's given us. And last is Danny Price with the district attorney's office, 35 years, and he said he wasn't coming down. And he's been pretty stout on that for about the last 35 years. So I want you to all take time to call Danny and tell him how much we appreciate his 35 years of service, and so maybe when it gets to 40, instead of getting all the phone calls, he'll decide to come down to court. He is in the district attorney's office. He's now in the intake area. He never, he said, I thought maybe I'd be here for about 5 years. And he said, the next thing I know, it's 35 years. And now I hear that over and over and over again. You come thinking you'll be there a couple of years, kind of get familiar with the area, and you just love it. And so as a result of that, you just stay around. So again, Danny Price, he had his extension 1659. And I want y'all to call and congratulate him on his 35 years of service to Tarrant County. With that, there's 650 years of service. We have cookies back in 504C. We probably have some healthy stuff back there too. Yeah. Because we're moving in that direction. I hope that all of you have gotten your HRAs done. We're moving toward, again, wellness, and we're trying to help you to learn more about how wellness can help you. And it's just a part of caring about you as individuals and caring about the family that we call Tarrant County. 504C, again, thank you for all the years of service you've given to Tarrant County.
Judge, Commissioner Brooks' birthday was last week, and Commissioner Johnson's birthday is tomorrow. While their age is HIPAA protected, but I'm sure these gentlemen only get younger, not older. So happy birthday, Commissioners.
Thank you. Thank you, Adler. In fact, our ages may add up to 650. And we probably ought to look at what they're doing.
They eat
It's
a
a good
lot of
idea.
fish there, don't
I don't know.
they? Is that toward
I'm sorry,
Twin
what
City?
did you say?
Is that Twin?
Of the consent agenda.
Second.
Well, motion is second to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
All right,
We probably
settle
need to
down.
receive and file the employee recognition, so
Move to receive and file.
Second.
we have motion is second to receive and file the employee recognition. Please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Mr. Manius.
Thank you, Your Honor. Members of the court, we have one additional item to bring to you this morning. This concerns item 2. We're requesting that the court approve changes to the medical examiner's fee schedule, which will be effective October 1, 2014.
Move for approval.
You mean 2015?
2015.
No, it'll be 2014.
For fiscal year. I see what you're saying. We have motion is second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Tidwell.
We have one item that we're asking the court to consider this morning, and that is to receive and file the auditor's report of the review of the deferred property tax accounts. You have our audit report and the tax assessor's response. I'd be happy to try to answer any questions.
Move to receive and file.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, receive and file. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Ms. Glenn?
I move to receive and file the personnel agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to receive and file the personnel agenda. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank
So you
you.
got a few steps in there.
I do.
All right, Mr. Beecham, come on back down. So you ain't got your HRA?
I'm going to have it.
Where'd you get that? How'd you get that backpack if you hadn't already gotten it?
I'll just give these out early. 5 samples in a brown bag.
So is this the toilet paper
Yes, sir.
time?
Please add that.
We've
back to
used
the
this company
inventory.
before. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but we have used them before.
4.
Item number 1 is a bid award recommendation for RFP 2014-095. This is an RFP for the administration of the Tarrant County Family Drug Court. Recommendation be to award the Tarrant County Challenge, the amount of $196,441.08.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Item number 2 is also a bid award recommendation for bid 2014-137. This is our annual contract for truck and bus repairs. Recommendation be to award on a per enterprise basis, awarding 2 primaries, Industrial Power and AutoNation Chevrolet.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Item number 3 is a bid award recommendation for bid 2014-149. This is our annual contract for toilet paper. Recommendation is to award on a per enterprise basis, select as our primary vendor Pollock Paper, as our secondary vendor Master Cleaning Supply.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we still have any restrooms that use this small roll of paper?
Probably not.
Those are just samples.
Any of them can.
They know. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Item number 4 is an item in regards to RFP 2014-096. This is an RFP for professional service for the development and implementation of a strategic transportation enhancement program for Tarrant County. We're seeking approval from the court to schedule oral presentations with both Dean International and Freeze Nichols Incorporated.
Move approval.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Can you explain the evaluation process? Who's on the team and so forth?
The evaluation team consisted of the representatives from the county administrator's office, purchasing, and transportation department.
Thank you.
And they were conducted like any other RFP
So there were 3
evaluation.
people on the team?
Sir?
There were 3 people on the team?
No. There, 2 from transportation, 2 from purchasing, and I guess 2 from county administrator's office.
6 people.
Yes.
Okay. Any other discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
And our last item, number 5, is an item in regards to RFP 2014-133. This is an RFP for substance abuse outpatient treatment services for CSCD. We're asking the court this morning to reject all proposals and allow us to rebid with revised specifications. There are several items that we feel like involve clarification in the specifications, and we feel like this is the best recommendation to make at this point in time.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Commissioner Brooks, you have an interlocal agreement.
Yes, Your Honor. The interlocal agreement between Tarrant County Precinct 1 and the City of Fort Worth to reconstruct Rendon Road from Little Road to Retta Mansfield. I move approval of item, 8 or 9J1, A and B?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve item 8J1, A and B. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Any appointments today? Seeing none, then you have before you the claims, including the addendum.
Move approval of the claims, including the addendum?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the claims, including the addendum. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Briefing items, Mr. Manius?
Thank you, Your Honor. We have one item we'd like to talk with the court about this morning. This concerns an update from the Public Health Department. Dr. Curian is here to address the court at this time.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Good morning.
and happy birthday, Commissioners.
Thank you.
All right, Public Health Department, well, we reported our first West Nile virus human case yesterday. The case was from the city of Crowley, and it had the case was the severe form of West Nile virus disease, which we commonly call as West Nile neuroinvasive disease. City of Crowley has been an active participant of our surveillance system, and so we know that there has not been a West Nile virus positive mosquito sample from the city of Crowley. If you recall, our response guidance is to spray only in response to a West Nile virus positive mosquito sample. So the response or the recommendations when having a human case in the absence of a West Nile virus positive mosquito sample is to place additional traps closer to the human case residence to detect West Nile virus activity in the mosquito population from that location. And that's exactly what was recommended to City of Crowley, and I believe City of Crowley is doing that. So as soon as we get the trap samples tested, and if there is a positive from those additional trap samples, then the recommendation would be to ground spray in response to that. To date, Public Health Lab has tested slightly over 2,200 mosquito samples from countywide, and we've had 20 West Nile virus positive mosquito samples this season. Cities with mosquito samples, positive mosquito samples are Bedford with 8, Colleyville with 5, Euless with 4, North Richland Hills, Pembroke, and the unincorporated area with 1 each positive samples. We had our first West Nile virus positive mosquito sample in the unincorporated area, which was in Precinct 4, and ground spray was done in response to that sample, that positive sample yesterday night. So in conclusion, in comparison, by this time last year, we had 8 West Nile virus positive mosquito samples and 1 human case. So this season seemed to be pretty much similar to the last season in terms of human cases. So we are asking residents to be vigilant. We will continue recommending the use of personal protective measures, because so long as we continue to have a positive mosquito sample in our county, the threat of a human outbreak remains. Thank you.
Has Crowley done any spraying?
They have done those additional trappings.
But they haven't sprayed any.
They will spray if those additional trap samples test positive for
Dr.
West Nile.
Curian, I'm curious as to why the presence of a neuroinvasive case doesn't override the fact that there have been no positive mosquito traps, and we don't just go ahead and spray anyway. In the presence of a case, evidence that there may be some infected mosquitoes in the area?
This is a little known fact, but it's a standard practice that all local public health departments report out cases based on the patient's residence and not by the location where the exposure might have happened. So the patient could be living in Tarrant County, commutes to work in Dallas County, probably got bit in Dallas County. But the
I agree with that. I think Dallas County will always be the place.
So the case would still be reported as Tarrant County. So we are absolutely trying to make sure the disease activity is detected from that location to use the pesticides judiciously. Okay.
Well, and the reason I ask about whether or not Crowley had sprayed or not, I know the city of Hurst has sprayed.
Yes.
They sprayed 3 consecutive nights,
Yes.
and yet they've had no reporting. So, I mean, I think each city has their own.
we can make, as a county, we set the recommendations, but each city has their own unique needs and demands. And Hearst, Euless has traditionally sprayed in response to citizen complaints, or they've sprayed for nuisance mosquitoes. So other cities that have sprayed is North Richland Hills. Pentago has been spraying. So yes, Hearst and Euless have always sprayed, and they've done the nuisance spraying.
So if Crowley ends up deciding to spray, it would be Crowley that would spray and not the county.
Yes, City of Crowley will be spraying. Like I said earlier, when there is a human case in the absence of a positive sample, the recommendation is to place additional traps closer to the human case residents so we can detect that activity. And if any of those additional traps yield positive results, then the recommendation would be to spray. That would be our recommendation. Ultimately, it'll be up to the City of Crowley to take us upon that recommendation.
From the county's perspective in the unincorporated area, if you find a positive test, is that when you spray with a positive test, you don't wait for the...
We don't wait, especially because of that 2012 outbreak, we are again choosing to err on the side of caution. So we don't wait to get 2 consecutive samples or 3 consecutive samples from the same location. We are still in that hypersensitive mode. We are spraying in response to a single West Nile virus positive mosquito sample.
When did you start that spraying?
Yesterday?
Yesterday?
Yesterday, I believe it was started around 11:30, if I was not mistaken. Yes.
Thank you.
Dr. Curian, I would like to see you take a look again at the protocols for when you recommend spraying to make the public feel comfortable that we are erring on the side of their safety. It would seem to me that a positive infection, especially a neuroinvasive inspection in a resident, would trigger a recommendation to spray.
We will certainly reevaluate that. We will take a closer look again, and decisions have to be based on case-by-case basis, but we will certainly reevaluate.
Judge, the City of Crowley is not spraying because we have not recommended that they spray. Our recommendation was not to spray.
And again, that's because you're doing
Additional
other things.
traffic. Because they just had a human case, no positive mosquito sample. And we know that, if there is a disease activity in a location, it would be detected first in the mosquito population before humans get infected. So in the absence of a positive sample, we believe the exposure probably happened elsewhere.
Well, I beg to differ. One can make that assumption, but one could also assume that since the traps are placed randomly and they're not placed everywhere, that we just missed
That's
infected mosquitoes
that's a
by where we place traps.
We'll certainly reevaluate those recommendations.
But didn't last year, we hired 3 or 4 additional people, bought vehicles, equipment to spray. So I would hope that when we have an issue like that, that we would be very proactive.
Well, again, it's the city that has to make that decision.
I understand that, but if we've got a city, well, we've talked this to death, but those people in those cities paying the same county tax that those people in unincorporated area. Okay?
But we're not spraying the whole county.
I know.
Yeah, but the cities spray based upon public health recommendation.
Well, Roy, I guess they do, but the city of Hearst, the city of Euless, and a lot of the other cities sprayed because they wanted to spray. I mean, there's nothing that prevents those cities from doing whatever they want to do.
Certainly, they're right, but there are a lot of cities who look to us for guidance.
Is there risk associated with spraying?
The pesticides that are used are class 4 pesticides, so EPA categorized them to be in the least toxic category. More than the side effects, we are more concerned about resistance development. because the pesticides we use, the mosquitoes can develop resistance pretty quickly because these are also active ingredients of common household pesticides, the lawn products, all those things. So we are concerned about the resistant development more than and these are the reasons why we choose to use these products judiciously. But if we start seeing a clustering of human cases, like Commissioner Brooks has said, we start seeing a clustering, yes, it will change. These guidelines are not set in stone. It will be changed based on the data that we get from the fields.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to reach out to the city of Crowley and have another conversation with them and talk to them, and if they would like to spray, then we'll assist them if they ask. One of the things about the resources that we have, we make those resources available to cities. A lot of them have their own resources, but if a city doesn't have the resources to spray, then we bring our county vehicles in upon their request.
As we should.
Yes, sir.
That has been in place for the past
Absolutely.
2 or 3 years. We've always offered to
Forever.
do that.
Thank you, Doctor.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Your Honor, that's all we have at this time.
We'll now recess our open meeting and proceed to close to discuss items exempted under sections 551.071, 072, 074, 076, and 087 of the Texas Government Code. Having returned from our closed meeting and there being no business to conduct at this time, we are adjourned.